Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Hummel, continuing our coverage remembering Governor Kathleen Blanco. Right now, Governor Blanco's coffin is being escorted by state police to the Capitol in an honor procession. Let's take a live look inside the Capitol Rotunda right now. We just saw Governor Edwards and the First Lady making their way inside to inspect the area. This is where members of the public will have a chance to pay their respects to Governor Blanco and talk with her family as well. Give you a bit of a rundown about what's expected over the next 15 minutes or so. Service members with the Louisiana National Guard and Governor Blanco's former protective service detail will carry her casket. Her cabinet and staff will line the front steps of the state capitol, where the guard will stop midway up those steps to perform a 21-gun salute. And the picture's just changing. We see the hearse carrying Governor Blanco making its way from St. Joseph's Cathedral in downtown Baton Rouge over to the state capitol there for this honor procession. Now waiting for Governor Blanco at the top of those steps will be her husband, Raymond Coach Blanco, her mother, Lucille Babineau, and Governor Edwards and the First Lady. The House Speaker and Senate President will also be there as well. Governor Blanco, of course, leaving behind 5 living children and 13 grandchildren. Governor Blanco today will lie in state inside the Capitol Rotunda, where visitors will be allowed to pay their respects between 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock today. If you are planning to go, you have to enter through the ground floor of the Capitol, and seating there will be limited. Let's take this picture full if we can. We see the front steps of the state capitol there. On the steps, those are members of the governor's staff and her cabinet from her tenure as governor of the state of Louisiana. And again, this will be an honor procession. The governor's casket will be carried up those front steps of the Capitol. There will be a 21-gun salute, and taps will be played halfway up those steps from the National Guard. Now, this honor procession is following an interfaith service that was held a bit earlier today in St. Joseph's Cathedral in Baton Rouge. Governor Edwards spoke this morning about Governor Blanco, saying she was a devout Catholic who welcomed those of different faiths. Governor Kathleen Blanco frequently attributed her faith as the reason she was able to overcome the challenges she faced, including the death of her son and also her battle with cancer.
It is well with my soul. Kathleen had that opportunity, and it was well. She found peace. And I hope and pray that part of her peace was knowing that she could count on us to continue her legacy of caring for the people of this beautiful state that she so proudly served and that she so dearly loved. So let's honor her by doing just that.
And now a live look outside the state capitol there, where we're seeing members of the Louisiana National Guard and members of the governor's former service detail who are escorting her casket out of the hearse right now following that interfaith service. The casket will then be brought up the front steps of the Capitol. There will be a 21-gun salute, and taps will be played halfway up. And let's listen in there in Baton Rouge as this honor procession gets underway for Governor Kathleen Blanco. Some moving scenes there at the state capitol right now, as Governor Blanco will lie in state right there for the next few hours so members of the public can pay their respects and honor her, and also speak with members of her family. We did see Coach Blanco and Governor Blanco's mother, Lucille Babineau, there, the governor and First Lady as well. I believe walking up to the casket right now, that's Coach Blanco to pay his respects to his late wife, Governor Blanco. Again, the public will have a chance to say their goodbyes as Governor Blanco lies in state from 1 o'clock until 6 o'clock tonight. It is expected to be very crowded. Entry to the Capitol will be limited, but if you are planning to pay your respects, you can go there from 1 until 6 o'clock. Anybody who's in line at 6 o'clock, because there is expected to be such a great outpouring of support for the Blanco family, they will be allowed to still process by the casket there of late Governor Kathleen Blanco. You know, over the past few days, we've been hearing so many tributes coming in for Governor Blanco. She made a huge impact on her alma mater, UL, where a public policy center has been created in her name. We spoke to UL President Dr. Joseph Savoy. Perhaps you saw him there in the crowd on the steps of the Capitol. He shared some of his memories of Governor Blanco.
Kathleen Blanco was a very special person. She was what you saw. She didn't pretend to be anyone else. She was sincere. She was just a good person, and I think that had a lot to do with her popularity and her success. People knew that she was telling the truth, that she was sincere about what she was saying. You may not have agreed with all of her decisions, but you never questioned her sincerity or her dedication to the state.
And you can see the crowds there going in to pay their respects to the Blanco family. The casket was just being prepared for all the crowds that are coming in and wanting to pay their respects, as Governor Blanco will lie in state there at the Capitol Rotunda through 6 o'clock tonight. When it comes to politics, often a contact sport here in Louisiana, we're seeing politicians and former politicians in that crowd from varying sides of the aisle, but many that we've spoken to, even across party lines, local, state, and federal, they're remembering Governor Blanco for her different approach to getting things done.
During our battle for fiber optics here in Lafayette, she made sure that all parties came together to reach a compromise. Her attitude was, out-of-state people should not make decisions on what local communities do. And so she wasn't necessarily throwing her weight in support of it or against it, but she wanted us to come together at the table and reach that compromise. So in her wisdom, in her years that she spent not only as governor, but as public service commissioner, she had that knowledge and understanding, thank goodness, because without her guidance, there's a good chance that Lafayette would have never had the chance of its own self-determination.
And this public visitation, as Governor Blanco lies in state there in the Capitol Rotunda, just beginning. We're told that Governor Edwards and the First Lady will start things off by paying their respects to Governor Blanco. Of course, there's been an interfaith service a few hours ago there in Baton Rouge, members of all different faiths paying their respects a bit earlier. We've spoken to some of Governor Blanco's friends and closest colleagues. They say that it's her humble beginnings. That's one thing that they're all saying about growing up in Coteau there in Iberia Parish really made a difference in how she grew up and also how she governed. We spoke to her good friend Richard Juschlag with Acadian Ambulance.
It just impressed me when people would stop by, and she would always make room for them and add food to the stove or the pot to go ahead and take everybody in and feed them. She was always doing that. She was a great cook, but I think she took the responsibilities of being a mother and running a house, and she somehow translated that into her government work. She had passion for the people of Louisiana. She wanted to make life better for them in any way that she could. It didn't matter whether you were black or white or rich or poor. Kathleen tried to bring everybody up. She tried to raise the level for everyone, and she cared about everybody.
And we'll leave you there with this live look inside the Capitol Rotunda, where Governor Blanco will lie in state through 6 o'clock tonight. These proceedings here in Baton Rouge will then, the tributes will then continue in Acadiana, Governor Blanco's beloved Acadiana, tomorrow, where visitation will continue in Lafayette at St. John's Cathedral. It'll be open tomorrow from 12:30 until 8 for a public visitation in the Cathedral Hall. The Divine Mercy Chaplet will be recited at 3 o'clock and a prayer will be held at 6. And then on Saturday, visitation will be held from 8 in the morning until 10 a.m. in the Cathedral Hall. There will then be a procession to the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist for Governor Blanco's funeral mass. Her burial will then be private. And as we leave you right now, again, here is Governor Blanco lying in state. Coach Blanco is standing over the casket of his late wife there, paying his respects. Members of the public will then have a chance to proceed past and give their thanks to Governor Blanco and her family as well. That concludes our coverage right now as we continue remembering Governor Kathleen Blanco. The tributes will continue over the next few days. Coach Blanco saying his final goodbyes right there. And we invite you to join us for our continuing coverage as we remember Governor Kathleen Blanco over the next few days. Thank you for watching this special report. I'm Jim Hummel. Have a good day.